Hello and welcome to Salty About Health. My name is Dalaney Algier, and I'm here with my mom and co-host, Mary. So, Mom, why are we salty about health?
Good question. It's because both of us have had struggles, some more serious than others, and no one showed us simple ways we could jump into the driver's seat and take control.
And why are we sharing our views with our listeners?
Well, because we want our listeners to realize that it may take time, but with some simple knowledge about health, they'll be able to make a few changes and dig deeper to take control of their well-being and live a more vibrant life.
That's fantastic. But right now, before we get into all of that, we just need to do some housekeeping. Here we go. This is an opinion-based podcast. This is not in any way offered as a diagnosis or treatment for any disease, illness, or infirmity for physical or mental condition or any other condition you may have. We are not doctors or practitioners of any kind. Persons needing medical care should obtain it from a medical practitioner. So, consult your practitioner before making any health decision. The opinions offered here in this podcast are ours alone. Okay, that's done. We, of course, also want to have an open dialogue with our listeners. So stay tuned to the end of the episode and we'll let you know all of the ways that we can connect. Welcome, everyone. We have a great episode for you today. We're going to be talking about exercise, why it's so important to add it to your routine, what some options are for exercise, and then we're going to end the episode with an interview with Mallory, one of my friends I met through volleyball, and find out why and how she got back into exercising and what is working for her and her clients with her fitness club. So let's get started, Mom.
Great. So let's start out with what we mean when we are talking about exercise. Exercise is an activity requiring physical effort carried out to sustain or improve health and fitness. So that can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. We'll just take you for an example. Dalaney plays volleyball quite a bit, and that's pretty vigorous exercise. I know. I've seen her games. And she's an excellent blocker, and she loves the spike.
Oh, man. Thanks.
So while I think perhaps doing laundry and walking up and down the stairs a few times a day might be a lot of exercise.
I think it's more than volleyball, to be honest. TBH right there. Ugh, laundry.
Oh, what? Doing laundry?
Yeah. So much effort.
But we are going to take this seriously. So we're just letting everyone know that we are all at different levels. I could never play volleyball like Dalaney does, though I do have a pretty good serve.
Yeah.
So adding more movement into everyone's daily routine is what we are really striving for today. You will be amazed that when you start walking around the block in the evenings or in the mornings, how quickly you adapt and start to go further and further. Or you may start looking for other exercises to do. The idea is to just start where you are at.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I mean, we don't want everyone starting with, hey, I'm going to go run a marathon tomorrow because they said exercise is good. That would just be super defeating. It really does take baby steps. And then you realize, hey, look how much I've accomplished and look what I can do now. For me, with being quarantined, I started doing workout videos a little bit more than I used to. And I could not do a plank. It was the worst thing. And now I can actually hold that for 30 seconds. And I'm like, hey, look at me. So
seriously, you couldn't do a plank? I do them every night.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, so again, baby steps, support me.
Okay. Sorry.
I can now.
We are going to have a contest next time I visit you, and your fiance can have the stopwatch, because I think I can. That's probably the only exercise I can probably.
Oh, hands down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just prepare the celebratory drinks for you after because you're gonna win. So
Well, there's just something that I didn't know about you. It was very informative. Okay, so that is true. So let's motivate our listeners even more by telling them what exercise can do for them. Mine apparently is going to get me, would you say, a drink at the end of it, the planks?
I guess, yes, a celebratory beverage. I
There
don't
you
know.
go. So let's motivate our listeners even more by telling them what exercise can do for them. Here's some interesting information from the book Never Be Sick Again by Raymond Francis with Kester Cotton. They say, unlike our ancestors, 60% of our adult population is sedentary, even though we all know exercise would be good for us. And it is good for us. Exercise prevents both of the two causes of disease that they outline in this book, deficiency and toxicity, by promoting efficient nutrient delivery to cells and stimulating the lymphatic system, which is the body's sewage system, vital for removing toxins from cells. And that also, in Ayurvedic medicine, Dr. John Douillard's site, he talks about the lymphatic system and how important it is in Ayurvedic medicine. And lymphatic system doesn't have any muscles attached to it.
But wait, what did you call it? Ayurvedic something? Ayurvedic. What is that?
Yeah. It's medicine from India. It's their philosophy, kind of like you have, Eastern medicine, they say
yes.
Chinese medicine.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ayurvedic medicine, and it comes from India. So what they say is, well, there are no muscles that are attached to the lymphatic system. So the only way to get that moving is you have to move. And they do yoga. That's one of the big things. And also like a rebounder, those mini trampolines, things like that. That gets your lymph system moving. And in Ayurveda, they know how important that is, because really the lymphatic system is kind of like the clams at the bottom of the bay. It's kind of a filter, and you really need that to stay healthy.
So
yeah,
you need to make waves in your body, is what you're saying.
Perfect. You do.
Oysters were like the tide is what kind of drags the water through them to filter stuff. So
that's a perfect analogy. Yes. Okay. And some people go in for, the deep lymphatic massages, which is always nice to get a massage. So it's very important to work your lymph system. So exercise is one of the best ways to do it. Movement, yoga, a rebounder, a massage. So anything like that. And exercise slows the effects of aging, reduces pain, and helps to improve mood, clarity of mind, balance, coordination, and spatial awareness. The body has almost 700 different muscles. Without physical activity, these muscles quickly waste away and lose their strength. When certain muscles are weak, others will compensate to do the work, which can cause painful physical damage to the body with long-term wear and tear. A study reported in the Journal of American Medical Association in 1996 found that physically inactive people are up to twice as likely to die prematurely as those who are physically fit. Now, I will say there are a lot of other things that can attribute to that, because physically active people usually eat better and take care of themselves, probably get good sleep, etc. But unused muscles lose 10 to 15% of their strength per week and half their strength in just 3 to 5 weeks. Meanwhile, the bones and joints become weak, brittle, and susceptible to fracture or breakage.
Yeah, it really is crazy how much strength you lose when you're not, exercising and putting your muscles to work. It's crazy how I can take this, not that I would take the summer off of volleyball, but I guess in college, right? Because a lot of sports have tryout week, and that's just when you're working out 3 times a day and it's all day every day and you're just super super sore. But then you're pretty much just trying to build up all that muscle you lost over the summer because you were not playing as much. You were not doing as much physical activity as you do in that team sport setting when you're in season.
Well, I know if I get into a routine and let's say I don't know, I hike a mile or two a day, and then for a week I can't get to that trail, and then you go up, I literally in a week, you can feel the difference.
Oh yeah, it's so fast how you lose it. It's so sad sometimes because you're like, yeah, I worked out really good for a week, and then like you get busy, and for 2 weeks you don't do anything, and then you go back to it, and you're just starting over. It feels like sometimes. Dang it.
Yeah, and the funny thing though is at the end of the week, let's say you're, hiking up a trail a mile and a half or 2 miles every day, but by the second, third, actually definitely by the third or fourth day, it becomes much easier.
Yes.
And by the seventh day, you're like, oh, this is easy. Your time gets better. And you're just doing it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a plus. It does get easier as you do it.
Yeah.
But any little exercise that you can do, if you're not going to be able to do that every day, is helpful. Just a little bit of movement.
Yeah, just to maintain. It's really important to try to maintain.
Yeah. So exercise is also important for mental function. Older people who exercise are 3.5 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease than those who lead sedentary lives. So here are some more benefits from exercising. It releases brain chemicals that alleviate feelings of anxiety, depression, and mental stress. It enhances the immune system by increasing natural killer cell activity, which are your cells that make up our body's frontline defense system, guarding against tumors and launching attacks against infections.
Wait, we have cells in our bodies called natural killer cells?
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That is so cool. Our bodies are really badass. That's awesome.
They are, actually. Your bodies fight every day to keep you alive, regardless of what you put into them or how lazy people are on the couch. Your body is just like there for you. It's amazing what people can do over and over and over. And a disease doesn't even show up until their 70s or 80s, which is, it's amazing. The abuse we can put on our body, and it just keeps trying to keep us alive. I love it. The killer cells improves, the body's ability to fight infection. So it slows the onset of aging effects such as slowed nerve impulses and bone demineralization. That's exercise does. And it decreases insulin resistance, and it helps lower blood pressure. And according to Mark Sisson, who wrote the Primal Blueprint, that the more lean muscle you maintain through life, the better your organs will function, which I had no idea that, organs and muscles and things like that were connected, right? Organs like muscles adhere to the use it or lose it natural law. When you exercise, you are making a conscious decision to engage muscles in a work effort that calls your heart, lungs, liver, adrenals, and other organs into action. So blood chemistry changes as you burn glycogen, which is stored from glucose, and fat. And you are also processing oxygen and producing metabolic byproducts like lactic acid at an accelerated rate. You are asking your organs to keep up with your active lifestyle, in the process strengthening them to better withstand the demands of daily life and the natural aging process. And that's what I mean. I just didn't realize, I thought, I don't know why I'd never put that together. You're exercising, and your organs have a lot more to do also. So it keeps them healthy.
That's what, if you do a cardio focused workout, it's focusing on your heart and lungs and creating that flow. And really, it's like exercising your heart because you're trying to do a workout without, and you said it helps lower blood pressure. You're trying to do something, work out, excite your heart, but get it to where it has endurance and your heart rate doesn't actually change super, super much to cause you harm, I guess. I don't know. That's what they taught us in health class.
Mine changes when I do exercise.
Oh yeah, it'll change, but like, I don't know, in health class they always talked about like the different ranges and how if you exercise a lot, you can start your heart won't freak out as much basically if you exercise more.
I guess I've always known that. I just didn't, the way he said it just made it crystal clear. I just
Yeah,
think
it is,
as
yeah.
all over, gee, I'm exercising, I'm just going to get healthy, but never realizing, I guess, yeah, with people with certain issues, it just improves that even more so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool way to look at it also. And now let's talk about what our listeners can do to start adding exercise and movement into their lives.
Woo.
If you are not exercising at all, here are some great ways to start moving. You can find a parking space further from the store to walk more, a little further while out shopping when you're allowed to go out shopping again.
And you can also start walking around your neighborhood.
Yeah, and if you don't want to go outside, PBS has some great exercise programs you can record, and they're not intense, and you can watch them anytime, or you can get up at 6 or 5 when they start playing them and follow along.
YouTube has a whole bunch of free exercise programs that you can watch as well. Or when we're out of quarantine, you can join a gym if that helps motivate you, seeing other people work out.
Yeah, if you are already exercising, make sure you switch it up so you don't get bored. And here are some fun ideas. Go to a batting cage.
You can, like my mom, hike on local trails.
Join a hiking or biking club in your area to help motivate you.
There's always yoga, Pilates, or other classes offered at gyms, offered on the internet that you can subscribe to.
You can buy exercise videos on Amazon. You can get them used or new. And the Goodwill is a great place to find these for less cost.
Yes, absolutely. We get a lot of stuff there. You can get an exercise buddy if that's even just texting one of your friends or working out with them.
You can go to a driving range and, hit some golf balls around.
If you have a big enough backyard, you can do it there too.
Exactly.
You can also check out the rec center in your local area for different leagues. Mine has a volleyball league. It's a lunchtime volleyball. So the rec centers around here are free if you live in the community. If you just bring in a proof of address, and then at lunch, I can go play for an hour for free. So that's something.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Or you could join the local Y and participate in their programs like pickleball, swimming, etc. I know some people are like, what is pickleball? But I think if you're over the age of 60, you will know what pickleball is.
Oh my gosh. Your boss loves it. My old volleyball coach was really into it too.
What was that, Susan?
Yeah, Coach Roberts. Shout out, Coach Roberts. I'm pretty sure it was pickleball that she really we played handball. Maybe it was handball.
No, it may be, but pickleball, they get obsessed over it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So as you guys can see, there are so many options for everyone at any skill level. And we'd love for our listeners to post what you guys are doing for exercise. Post it on our Facebook page, tag us in an Instagram post. We'd love to see what you're doing. And to help motivate you, we actually talked with my friend Mallory, and now we are going to share that talk with you all so you can find out how she stays motivated and helps keep her clients motivated. So I guess the first thing, like you and I have talked, but my mom hasn't really talked to you. So could you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name's Mallory. I'm 23, almost 24. I'll be 24 next week. Started out pretty much coaching, doing this online coaching thing after I quit my college volleyball team. I quit actually on a game day during my sophomore season. My first coach it was kind of a toxic environment. She kind of resigned halfway through the first season. And so it just kind of ruined it for me. So second coach came in and it just didn't get any better. She was okay, but I just couldn't rekindle, the fire that I had for it. So I quit. And then about a year went by and I had been on such a strict workout schedule and regimen. and had no time to myself. I refused to work out and eat healthy. So I kind of got in the worst shape ever because I started playing sports when I was 4 and I was 20, 21, somewhere in there. So it was like I didn't know what to do. So a little after that, a girl from my hometown, I had not really had much contact with her. She just asked me to coach. And I was just like, okay. So I just kind of jumped in with it. Now I'm the online fitness coach on the side, but I'm an outside sales rep for a office supply and printing company as well.
So when she got you into the coaching, what were your goals to start with and kind of what have your goals become now?
First goals were really just to lose weight because I'd always been like the athletic, skinny person. Like I was always into health and fitness, but like I said, I was so against it after being on such a crazy schedule for so long that I'd lost it. And I had tried all these other things and just nothing was working. So my first goal was, okay, let me do this first program and see where that gets me. And 30 days in, I lost 15 pounds and 13 inches overall. And so after that, I was sold. I was like, okay, this stuff is magic. Like I have to, like I've got to just teach everybody, like help everybody. And I wasn't working. I was in the busiest semester. I was a biology major. And I was taking classes, prereqs for vet school. So all your chemistry, physics, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, I don't have time to work. So this could be an income on the side. And it just kind of grew from there. Currently, my goals are I have like a money value to help pay bills. Like I'm about to move out and finally get my own place. So it's going to cover rent and that kind of stuff for me. But my eventual goal in, the next 1 to 3 years is to do it full time. So that's where I'm at right now.
So Mallory, what did you do to lose the weight in the inches?
Yeah. So when I signed up, my coach helped me pick the program based on my goals and what kind of programs interest me. Because if I'm someone I don't like what I'm doing, I'm not going to do it. That's just how I am. So you sign up with a program and it's all these different workouts, but they're all within the same theme. And it shows you get a calendar and it shows you day by day which workout you do. And all I had to do was log on. So a streaming platform online and it just said, press play on this workout. And that's what I did. And then it came with a nutrition plan with it. And it was really easy. It wasn't cutting carbs or anything like that because carbs are literally my favorite food group. Bread is my favorite, potatoes, that kind of thing. And so it was all about portion control based on food groups. And I just followed that. And it's magic. It just worked.
Well, what were some of the exercises they had you do for the workout? Did you specifically work on abs one day and, whatever the next?
So the program I picked was actually like an MMA style workout. So it was like shadow boxing almost. So there was no weights involved, but it was kind of like HIIT training. And so say your first day, day one, you would be doing like shadow boxing type stuff. The next day maybe plyometric stuff. And so there wasn't really one day where you just did like crunches and abs and that kind of stuff. They were kind of added into it. But it was basically learning kicks and different punches and that kind of thing. And I think that's kind of what drew me to that because it was fun and it didn't feel like punishment.
And so, but you said you picked it, so there were probably other options that were more of like the classical, like today we're going to do 100 crunches and then push-ups and that.
Yeah, so I got access to all of the different programs, but that's the one I started with. As soon as I finished that one, I actually jumped into one with weights. And so one day was cardio day, one day was leg day, one day was upper body day, and then it was an ab focused day. So there's really options for anybody. I mean, my mom does one now and it's a dancing workout because she has really bad arthritis in her knees. So it was just a big array of options. And so now I really like the really hard ones. Like I'm back to the really extreme workouts. So there's really like so many different options when it comes to that.
That's really cool. So when you're doing that, now that you're coaching and helping people pick out those different routines, how are you helping them figure out the level they want? Because you went in and you're like, I know I want to be super active and do like the MMA style, but what if someone doesn't know?
Right. So I always try to talk to everyone and get kind of their background on fitness, how they see it, how they view it, and then their goals. And then we'll say, okay, well, to get here, we probably need to start here. And I see their interests. If someone tells me that they hate, running, cardio, that kind of thing, I'm probably not going to throw them into just a straight HIIT program. We're going to find dancing or, one that's lower impact, something that they like, and then we work up to it. There's a lot of modifications that you can do within the programs. And so I always send them like a little short video that kind of explains the program, and then we discuss what they like or didn't like about it until we can find one that they like.
That's really nice. And that's kind of how you keep it engaging too, and mixing up the routine, is finding those different things for them.
And how often do you have contact with them?
So I run an online fitness accountability group. And so every day you can log your workout, any shake you drink, your nutrition, like there's so many things. And we do a daily post or multiple daily posts in there as well. How's your day going? Anything you need, comment. So really, if you're active in the group, there's daily contact. And then once a week, I send a message out to everyone just to check in, see if there's anything I can do with them on a personal level that maybe they didn't want to talk about in the group. And most of them have my phone number. I just send it out to them and say, hey, you can text me if you need anything. So it's really depends on what kind of contact, how often they're wanting it, but I'm always available to them.
And so that you have that virtual presence, but do you think having an in-person presence in the future as part of your business model, do you think that would help more or wouldn't really make a difference?
Well, most of my people are all over, literally all over the United States. Some are in Canada. So it just kind of depends on that. We did an event last summer, actually, where local people came, and people within 45 minutes to an hour came down, and we all just did a workout together kind of thing. So it's fun. The coaches on my team, we get together at least each quarter, and then once a year we get to see everybody together at a big annual event. And then if you earn trips, that kind of thing, we get to see each other on those trips.
And I guess circling back to once you've had everyone pick out their routines and they're going with it, since you're not there with them in person, how are you making sure that they're using their proper form and staying safe while they do their workouts?
So the trainers that design the workouts, they're always showing form, breaking down the move before. If I have anybody that's telling me they have an issue, I'll say, hey, you need to follow the modifier. I'm not there, so I can't, be one-on-one and saying, hey, you need to watch this. But if they're having issues, I'll even say, hey, send me a video of you doing lunges if your knee's hurting. Let me see it. And sometimes they will, but most of the time it's, hey, make sure you're watching, video yourself and look at your form versus how the trainer's breaking it down. And a lot of people have found, that to be pretty helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I've found that really helpful with sports because I played volleyball like you did. And that just instantly helps you see what's going wrong because you can't really feel it in the moment.
Right. And I coach volleyball on the side sometimes. And I'll say, all right, let me see you. And I'll video it. And when they're not looking, and they'll go back and I'll say, okay. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm still doing that. And I said, yeah. So now you see what I'm talking about. So video really does help a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And besides doing video, what are other benefits of joining like a fit club like yours?
Definitely the accountability and the community that's formed. I've run it with a couple of other coaches, so I don't personally know their clients, but you form relationships with them. We're in there every day. If someone's having a rough day and they just say, hey, that workout was hard, or I'm just not looking forward to this today, a bunch of us will jump on. We start commenting, like we send each other messages, and it's just like, it's literally a sisterhood. And one of my new girls actually texted me today, and she was like, I would have never thought this is what it was. And the community is just so supportive. And she's actually an athlete as well. She's graduating this year. She had just finished up her season. She plays volleyball. And she's in the running to be Performance Athlete of the Year at her school. And so she was like, they're so supportive. And they all everyone voted for her school to win. So it's like literally a big sisterhood.
So are you working with a certain age group or just men, women, or just everyone?
I do everyone. I notice that people in the 18 to 35 age range tend to be attracted to me as a coach. And it's probably because things I share on social media and that type of thing. But anybody is available to join. I don't, if you're older than that, if you're my mom's age, it doesn't matter. Like I let everybody join that wants to be in.
What motivates you the most to, get up and do this every day?
As far as the workouts or as far as the coaching?
Both, to help the others and for you to work out.
So for me, I was in the worst shape of my life when I signed up, but it was more so a mental one as well. I'd kind of hit a really dark spot. and nothing I was doing was working. No one understood it either. I stayed to myself. I slept all the time. I only ate because my roommate fed me and forced me to eat at night. And so after I'd kind of dug myself out a little bit, I got into this and I just felt good. Like I felt like I was on top of the world. And so that's just something I want to share with people. And now, if I get off track for a couple of days, I can feel it. And it's like, man, my body functions so much better mentally and physically when I work out. And so, when I get up or my alarm goes off in the morning, one, I know I have to do it for myself. And two, I know that there's people in my group that are going to be like, where are you if I don't log my workout that day? And I mean, when I first started, I was sharing it on social media so much. I'd say day one, I did this workout. Day two, I do this workout. People were messaging me if I did not work out that day, even if it was a rest day. Hey, I didn't see your workout video. So now it's not only going to let me down, but it's going to let other people down too.
Have you seen it help like your mentality in work and other places outside of health and wellness as well?
Definitely. So everyone, like my family, they say I was the hard-hearted one in the family, like just because I never got into like the whole touchy feely, like I'm not a mushy person, but definitely through this, it's like I go to an event and I see someone and they talk about their fitness transformation and I just cry because it's just like I understand like where they're coming from, and it's been eye-opening, like people's different situations. You hear their stories, their backgrounds. And so for me, it's definitely softened me up a little bit. And then just that part of it really, because you really get more personal with people. And I always was one to kind of distance myself because I don't know if it was because if I got too close and then something happened, that would be too much. But now like I've formed much better relationships with people because of it.
So exercise has opened you up. And what other benefits do you think for other people? What do you think people get out of exercising?
I think one is for me, I know for me, it can be a mental break. And I know it's a big stress reliever. If you're having a hard day, you can turn off the outside world and even if it's a 20-minute workout, or if you just go for a mile walk, you can turn everything off, kind of reset and just kind of go back into things if it's something you have to dive back into. But it's just a break to get away from the world if you need to. But two, I've seen people who are moms and they feel like they can't keep up with their kids. There's a mom on our team, and last time she talked about this, we all cried, but she was like, I could not chase after my son. And so now she's able to play with her son. And so there's just so much more you can do because you don't realize like walking up the stairs makes you out of breath or chasing after your kid makes you out of breath. And so being able to do that, it's just like the little things that you didn't notice before that you do now.
I think that's great. And some older people, they start doing this, then they can keep up with their grandkids.
Right. Yeah. That's what I tell my mom. I was like, look, I'm not anywhere near having kids, but my sister is. So you might want to be able to keep up with them.
Well, how long have you been doing this?
I am a little over the 3-year mark doing this. So I signed up the end of December, started my first program in January of 2017, and then kind of dove in February of 2017 with coaching.
And so you see yourself doing this now for a career then?
Yes. Yeah. I've met people who do this full-time. My coach's coach, she's full-time and she enjoys it. Just the things she can do. She's at home with her son all the time. And I'm not to the part where I'm building a family or anything, but now I know what I'm doing now is setting me up for success in the future because I want to have the option to be able to stay at home.
So is there a limit to how many people you can coach at one time?
No, I don't like to do too many at once. I'll say 5 to 10, like 5 to 10 new people a month because I like to have that personal aspect of it. I actually took on 5 new coaches in the past 2 weeks that I'm mentoring. And so I'm really focusing on them and I'm taking maybe 3 to 5 clients this month. And that's it because I don't want to feel like I'm pouring from an empty cup because there's still so much going on. But I want to get everyone started off at least on the right foot. And that way, because they need you more to begin with. And so I'm really pouring into them a lot right now. So there's not a limit, but I felt like if I took on 50, 60 people a month, that I just, I couldn't get the one-on-one relationship with them I'd want.
And what have you learned from your clients? What's the one thing that really stands out?
People want to know that you're there and in their corner. Because a lot of times family can be the roughest people on you. They're always talking about, man, you've gained some weight, haven't you? and they don't realize what that does to you. And to know that there's someone on the other side, even if you've never met them in person, that believes in you and supports you every day, then, it's just a great feeling.
Oh, that's nice. Is there anything else that you want to add, Mallory?
I don't think so, other than it's just, I'm passionate about it because it's completely changed my life. And so, I get up at 5 o'clock so I can work out and get, an hour or two of coaching work in before I go to work. And then when I get home from work, the first thing I want to do is jump on a call with my coaches or talk to my clients because I just love it. Like, it's like when you're in school all day in high school and you can't wait to get to volleyball practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that for me. So it's just something that's completely changed my life, and I want to share it with as many people as I can.
If you want to tell people how they can reach out to you if they're interested in becoming a client, like, we'd love to have you do that.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at Fitness by Mal. You can send me a message, or there is a link in my bio, and it's just a short little form that you fill out. Kind of tells me a little bit about you and how is best to contact you.
Yeah, and we'll put all that info in with the show notes and everything too, so everyone has that. Thank you for your time. I know you have a call at 8 o'clock.
Yes, I have a book club call. We're doing a personal growth, book club once a week meeting. So
Oh, cool. What book?
It is Build to Last by Keith Callahan.
Well, thanks for joining us. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you as well.
Yeah, thanks very much. Well, thanks everyone for listening. And again, we want to hear from you guys. We always want to hear from you guys. Please, please, please reach out to us. And here are just a few ways that you can do that. You can reach out via Instagram and Facebook. Find us at Salty About Health. Even Snapchat at Salty Health. You can email us at saltyabouthealth@gmail.com. Or if you just want to find all that in one place, check out our website, saltyabouthealth.com. We've got all the ways for you to listen and connect there. And finally, if you like what you hear today, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We really appreciate it. So, Mom, if they want to hear from you on social media, where can they find you?
Okay, I am a certified health coach and I do coach one-on-one. So if you're interested, you can contact me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com. I also do research for people who are interested in finding alternative approaches to do in conjunction with the health issue or illness their doctor is treating them for. So again, just reach out to me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com or follow me on Twitter at feedyourselfhealthy, which is spelled FEEDURSELFHLTHY. That's where they can find me.
Cool. Okay. And if you guys want to find me, I'm not a health coach, but I'm on Instagram hanging out there at Dalaney.a. Find out how to spell my name in the show notes and everything. And of course, I'll be the one mainly keeping an eye on the social media. So always happy to chat with you guys via the Salty Network. Also, just want to shout out our intro and outro music. It is by Yule. And you can find her at www.yulearts.com. That's EULARTS. You can also find her on Instagram at Yule_arts or Spotify and YouTube. Check her out. Her piano music and everything else is amazing. And until next time, stay salty.
Stay salty.